From the top of a hill, Sting stares at the ruins of another city. He can taste salt in the air. He can see thin gulls circling the remnants of the churchyards. He sighs. The towns of the coast are the worst. He will find nothing here. Left to nature, most places moss over and slow, but the sea licks the land with its serrated tongue. The sea is hungry. It yearns to destroy. The world is silent, except for his breathing. This place is dead. The sand that covers the floor glistens like splintered glass. No. The sand that covers the floor is splintered glass. The screams of the angels tore a million windows from their frames and shattered them as they fell. They formed a desert, a beach that aches for the lap of the ocean. Crouched behind a broken bush shelter, the boy waits. The boy is one of the three companions Sting's madness has provided for him. Ghost Mirror Sting, the witch in the long dress, and the boy. Ghost Mirror Sting copies Sting. He recreates everything Sting does as eerie pantomime, as brittle and mocking facsimile. The witch in the long dress wanders the corridors of Sting's dreams, weaving plots in his sleeping ear. She runs slender fingers down his spine as he wakes. The boy waits. Sting wrote a song called Russians, then three things happened. The first thing that happened was Sting became immortal. His body rid itself of disease and imperfection. His muscles tightened, his posture righted itself. He still felt pain, but no matter how badly he injured himself, he healed. He could not die. When Sting became immortal, the witch in the long dress began to visit him. She smiled and she curtsied. She pursed her lips and she winked. Sting told her that he thought immortality was his reward for writing Russians. She nodded in agreement. She said that when he wrote it, he had created something truly important, that he had a message for the world. Then the second thing happened. The second thing that happened was the end of the world. A seven-headed beast climbed from the depths of a volcano and breathed terrible fire upon the lands and the seas. Blood rained from the sky. The fallen and the dead waged war upon the living, and nobody was spared. Nobody except Sting, who could not die. As the world ended, the boy began to visit him. The boy placed silver duct tape over his lips and pretended to choke, mocked the dying and the dead, threw silver pennies in his own begging bowl, danced with loose limbs, hummed a funeral rag. Then the third thing happened. The third thing that happened was the rapture. The darkness was replaced by a brilliant light. Flowers bloomed on all the surfaces of the earth. The bodies of the slain, of everybody who had ever lived and loved and died, rose to heaven, and all their sins were forgiven. Everyone except Sting, who could not die. After the rapture, Ghost Mirror Sting began to visit him. Ghost Mirror Sting lived behind the looking glass. He belched and he twitched and he flinched and he writhed. The bones in his arms and his fingers clicked as he moved. He asked Sting why he thought they were the only exiles from eternal salvation. He asked Sting if he still thought God was a fan of his song, Russians. Now, Sting stands on the hill, and below him, in the town, the boy waits. The boy is waiting to lead Sting to the library. It is always the library, always the same sad theatre of war. The boy carries a toffee hammer, his hands are bloodied and burnt, his mouth still covered with duct tape. The boy has a tripping, skipping gait. He beckons, and Sting follows. The boy shuffles slowly around the grounds of the library, mumbling scraps of Latin. Sting collects the things they need. He collects kindling and charcoal from the forecourts of petrol stations. He collects matches and bright yellow tubs of lighter fluid from tobacconists. He collects cans of cheap deodorant and bottles of nail varnish removal from chemists. He collects fireworks and insecticide and canisters of gas. He carries them to the library and arranges them as the boy tells him, in pentagrams and pyramids and concentric circles. The boy, chuckling behind his silver gag, taps a tune with his tiny hammer on the library door. Sting readies a match. The boy raises a hand and waves goodbye. Sting thinks about the boy who makes him do this again and again. The boy who is always waiting for him wherever he goes. For a second, he thinks only of the boy, but then the flames rise. Sting only feels the pain of the fire burning his flesh away, and the fear of the deeper hurt he will suffer as it grows back over his smoke-blackened bones. He knows nothing can last forever. He allows himself the hope that perhaps he won't see the boy again, that this time he will finally die. Thank you.